Hello again, cellmates. I'm going to do pour for you today in some really odd bod colours. If I don't use them all, I'll let you know. Just made up a load of paints and just my eye took these colours. Some of them are custom made, which I will try and show you the little card or write them down on the intro to the video. So it's just, I'm just going to do a pour, but it's not a dirty cup pour. This is my kind of pour that I do, that you've really got so much better chance of not getting a muddy look on your colours mixing. So it's just basically I will put my pouring medium, hopefully again on the intro, and so I pre-mix my paints as I've told you plenty of times before. If you watch or subscribe to my channel, I mix them the night or day before, or I've even used paints up to a week, as long as they were covered. And I cover them with, I don't bother covering them with cling film or anything. I cover them with a damp tea towel in that little tray that my husband made for me to hold the cups. And they just seems to really work well. So people ask me, does it matter if you do, use the colours on the same day? Well, you can obviously do whatever you choose to do, but I'm just telling you my technique and what really works well for me. And the paints come out so much better when I pre-mix them. Even I only put 2 to 4 drops of silicone in my paints, and not in every one, or like these ones I have put in every one, but I just don't find that I need it. Still get loads of cells. This is Helma. I just got it off eBay at $6, and it really works well. So and the pouring medium that I put up, that I use, that I make up myself with the Elmer's glue all, doesn't work well with every paint brand. So just a word of warning that I get so many people saying, I've done exactly as you said, and I've got no cells and it doesn't cluster. Well, I can't guarantee that if you're not using exactly what I'm using. So I'm using the glue all pouring medium that I make up myself, which I'll put the card up, and I use, these are global paints. I have used other paints with success, but I haven't tried paints that I'm not sure how Liquitex Basics or Peebo or any of those other paints works with this pouring mix. So I can't guarantee that you're going to get exactly the same results unless you use, you're making up what I make up. So obviously you've just seen that I just poured the colours on separately, and I'm just tilting them around the canvas now. So it's actually mixing the paints as you would in a dirty pour cup, say, but when you're putting them into the cup, which I've still do loads of times, the colours tend to mix, and you can get, if you're not really careful, it doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pourer, you can still get muddy colours that just go like mud together. So I've just found that trying to teach people without their colours going muddy is far the most successful way I find of not muddying your colours, by layering them onto your canvas and then just tilting around. So always try to make sure that you haven't got the weight all in one particular spot. Okay, I'll try and put that back where I found it. So it's just nice as well if you can let that just process for a bit. I'm going to do a bit of a test here. Is my thing that I love doing is the swipe. It's just me, but I'm going to just torch this without doing the swipe and see how if the clusters come up. So I'll just wash my hands. Check that the video is playing, because I've had that happen. Did a nice video which I thought for you all, and the video just wasn't playing. So don't know what happened there, but anyway, I'm just going to try and see if I can get any clusters. Again, I'm using my butane torch, so unless you're really confident with the butane torch, I'd stick to just the smaller heat, or a heat torch, or just a little cake browner. Okay. Yeah, I'm still getting, so you don't have to swipe to get the clusters, because they are coming up. I think all the swiping is to take a top colour over the whole lot. Like, I was going to add navy to this, and I still might try it. I just wanted to see if the clusters come up, which, as you can see, the clusters coming up there, not as they would if I did a swipe. So I'm going to, this might turn out completely a disaster, but I'm just showing you, if you sort of like the look of like sort of like an aerial view of a landscape, or of a sand or whatever, can tilt off a bit more till your colours are where you want them, can add a bit of the torch in to bring up the clusters. So that wasn't too successful, I didn't think. So I'm going to add, this looks black, but it's actually a navy. So I'm going to do my swipe through the centre, just a thin line, probably even less than that. I should have been a bit more careful there, because I think even a finer line than that does the trick really well. Just getting my trusty, I say it every time, they're just a plastic file divider. They're fantastic because you can reuse them, wipe them, wash them, they last for ages, and they're quite under $10, and you get about 6 to a pack. So just about 1 centimetre at the very tip. Draw it towards you, just slowly, taking your time, as it's quite therapeutic, I find. Like mixing my paints, I think that's part of my process of relaxation, and that's why I like to do them the day before. It's just a process on its own, without the other nice process is obviously the end product. But I just find this swiping and mixing paint very therapeutic to me anyway. I am just letting the rest of the, how you see that doesn't matter, because it will be torched or embellished, so you won't see that. Okay, this is just my favorite thing to do, and I think, you know, somebody asked me, oh, is that all you do is pouring and swiping and ballooning? Well, that's fine if you don't, that doesn't interest you. Move on, because there's literally thousands and thousands of pourers on the internet. I'm just doing this because I've been requested to show you my particular technique. So just move on to what, you know, you fancy doing. But this is my thing at the moment. It's what I enjoy doing. It's what I get really good results. So I don't find a need to I have tried all the different techniques and enjoyed some of them, but still keep coming back to this way, because I still can get it to look depth and movement in what I'm trying to create, I suppose, at the end. Anyway, that's the swipe. Can be left. See, some cells are appearing now. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this, because I've already torched it. So a bit of a test, so I will light the torch again and see if we can bring anything else up in this. So again, I just dab very quickly because you will light up your canvas if you hold too long. These are my Jilly clusters, and as you see, they come up far better with this white colour over the top than just a pour. I will do another video with a dirty pour and show you what happens with that, but again, going a bit crazy with my colours. Never like to keep to the normal. Like to always push the boundaries and see what we can create. But that cells are coming up beautifully. Really lovely again. I'll try and get a close-up for you. Don't stuff my video up. As you know, or if you've followed me before, I'm just a technically challenged when it comes to computers. And so as you can see, I've got some lovely cell clusters. They actually look far brighter, me looking at them now, to what they're looking on this video. But yeah, so that is Jilly clusters with some weird and wonderful colours again. So I'll just run through the colours quickly that I used in this particular. This was the, oh, where are we now? Okay, it's Global. It was the Cool Red, and I just put in pearl white, mostly pearl white with, and it's made this really candy pink, and of course because it's got the pearl in it. And this is just the gold, metallic gold, and this again was the pearl white, and I just added a blob of purple and just kept adding a blob till the pearl white turned into this lovely lilac colour. What other colour did I have here? Now this one was the warm red, can you believe, warm red with the pearl white. So I always do my own colours, and then the other was just the navy that I'd made up about 5 days ago, so that's still absolutely fine as long as I keep it covered. So that's my little pour today, showing you. I'll post some photos of it, but it's actually gorgeous. So I would, because knowing me, I just love to go over with a little balloon again in places to make it move. If you do your paint a thinner consistency, the paint will obviously move more and stretch. And so if you look at, like, this one is not a particular thick mix at all. It's not water thin, but it is just like a runny cream. And what I like to do, that consistency, if I want these cells to just stretch out and start to, they can make forms of their own to look like butterfly, to look like butterfly wings or flowers. So sometimes you only have to add 1 or 2 balloon dips, and what that creates is just pushing into the canvas will move those cells and then create a whole different look. Just do 1 balloon dip for you, because I'm going to leave this particular canvas. I like to leave it at least 30 or 40 minutes if there's a lot of paint on. But what I like to do is, if you balloon dip in between, or you can balloon dip right in where your cluster is, you see this, well, what will happen after a couple of hours, these will stretch out and move then to, you know, can create sort of a whimsical look. So that's kind of, yeah, And I do wipe off in between unless I've just got a canvas sitting there that I want to have a play with. Like again, you can do a roll off the canvas, which creates those really nice little wings there. So there's all different things you can do with the balloon. Don't be scared, because you can use this as a tool. You can use I use all different sizes or state in that, you know, little tiny balloons for dabbing in here, which I think my tiny balloon has gone down now. But yeah, so that kind of gives you the idea. But again, if you don't want your paints to mix or go muddy, try just pouring the colours on separately, tilting them so they tilt over each other, but they're not actually mixing. And you'll have a lot of success with that, I find. So that sort of gives really nice wing effect. All sorts of effects you can do with the balloon, and it makes the paint move. So I hope that was helpful to anyone. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's free, and then you'll always see my videos when they come up. Thank you very much for watching. Bye, cellmates.